Let me just start with this. Number one, I can't believe, Michael, that we're here and that we're here talking to you about NASCAR. NASCAR. So take us back why this sport means so much to you. Is it family memories? What is
I
it?
think it's more family members. My father actually, he was a diehard mechanic. He used to work on all the neighborhood cars. He would fix our cars. We would never send our car to the service. He would figure out a way to fix it. So I think it gravitated into his love for cars, and he likes driving fast. My mom likes driving fast. So we
Do
kind
you
of
like driving fast, Michael?
no, I never drive fast.
I don't believe you.
Yeah,
But go
that's
ahead.
true.
Go ahead.
But it kind of led us down the alley of getting involved in car racing. One of his best friends was Hoss Ellington, who was from Wilmington, and he raced locally. He raced. I think he was in NASCAR at one particular time, and somehow my father just kind of got gravitated towards the sport, and he just drug us along.
So did you go to NASCAR races as a
Yes,
kid?
we drove.
Tell me about that.
We drove to Darlington, Charlotte, Rockingham, all the local places. We would leave early in the morning on Sunday morning, and then we spend the day and come back, later after the race. And my brother and I started looking forward to going to those races, and my mom would go, the whole family would go, and we'd pack it up and just go. We would always go. We would go where we can come and come right back. And it got into my blood, just seeing what, how competitive NASCAR was. I was a big Richard Petty fan. My father was a big Richard Petty fan. Cale Yarborough, all the guys.
Yes.
He was the first number 11, by the way, that I
Okay.
remember,
To
other
be
than
clear.
Denny Hamlin.
So is it a family memory for you, or is it a sport memory for you, or is it both?
It's a family memory that turned into a sport memory. And now I'm entrenched in the sport as a whole. A lot of people look at NASCAR and you see them just making left turns the whole time. It's a strategy. It's a lot of. I think it's a lot. They're athletes. They're great athletes. They have the quick, reactions. They have to think real quick. Going at 190 miles an hour. There's strategy to drafting and things like that I think people are going to learn if you get involved in the sport. And to me, that was intriguing enough for me to kind of dive in and understand it from an athlete standpoint, which I actually love.
But the people that know you say, but you should see Michael when he's on the track. You should see Michael when he's in the pit. I think the word was giddy, that he's like a little kid. Do you feel like that about this sport?
I'm excited. I'm excited that I'm connected to this sport.
Yeah.
I feel like when I watch the sport, I watch it, with the lens of my father, with my family, and that matters to me. I mean, that brings back a lot of things that we used to do when we were a kid, and the joy of seeing competition, right? I'm a very competitive person.
Still?
100%.
Still?
100%.
Why? Because I thought you'd step back, you wanted a quieter life.
I think I'm cursed. I'm cursed with this competitive gene that anything that I do is from a competitive lens, and in some ways that keeps me young, that keeps me aggressively thinking positively. It helps me either understand everything that I'm involved in, I'm connected with. It has to be some competitive, things to that, If it's getting dressed, I gotta get dressed before my wife gets dressed, or I gotta get dressed to make
Michael.
sure, those types of things. I'm cursed. That's just the way I am. And I try to use it in the best positive way that I can.
So Yvette's getting dressed, and you're like, I got to get dressed before she does.
I know I gotta get in the shower and get in the bathroom before she comes in, so she doesn't slow down my time, that I can get to the golf course in time. I gotta drop the kids off. I got all the other things I got.
I'm like, are you okay? Are you okay? Where do you think that comes from? I think that's
don't,
funny.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that my appetite to prove as a kid created this competitive thing within me that has transcended and taken over everything that I do. And I think it's a good trait to have, because some people don't have that trait.
Yeah.
And some people get to get right at the cusp of what success really means, and they can never get over that hump. And I think it helps you evaluate every stage of success. I mean, believe me, I've had my failures in terms of the stages.
Yeah.
But once I get over it, it's infectious. It's that feeling of, that you've accomplished something. I've gotten to that hill. It's a
Yeah.
long road getting up that hill. And I think, getting involved in NASCAR from the grassroots, when Denny brought this to me,
Yes, I want to talk to him about that. Yes.
it was starting from scratch. And, my mentality was, I want to win. I want to win. I want to win fast. I want to do it really fast. And he was the type of person to say, hey, slow down. There's stages to this. I say, I get that, but, I'm going to do everything in my power to try to speed up the process. And I think that every time you see me giddy down into that, in the pits, it's because of we're doing it. We absolutely are doing it. We're starting to make a difference in a sport that no one thought we can make a difference in.
Yeah, but it gives you a different kind of gear, doesn't it?
It does,
Yeah.
and it's an infectious that you kind of pass it on to others, and they start getting it. They start believing it. They start feeling the energy that been generated either by my involvement or our passion between me and Denny. And you can look themselves in the mirror and they can see, oh, we can do this. We can be a champion, or we can win every weekend, or we can compete with the top guys in this sport. And I think that's what you're starting to see.
And when the race doesn't go the way you want, how do you handle that?
Oh, I take it as a lesson. We learn. Any successful person has had to deal with failure at some point in time. So we don't let it get us down. We figure out, okay, we got to get ready to the next. Let's learn. Let's get back to the next one. Let's make a big difference for the next one. So that is a part of my DNA. I do not like losing, but I'm not afraid to lose. I learn from losing.
People say you certainly changed the game of basketball, and now they say with the lawsuit you've changed the sport of NASCAR. Was that your intention?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Well, when I got into the sport, obviously, as I learned, it was a lot of things that I wasn't really happy about, and I felt like looking at it from a sport, this sport was not set up for success long term for the individuals that's involved in the sport. Now, up top, yeah, they can make.
Yeah, they were doing all right.
They were making a good living, and for the people that were putting on the show, that was. And I was one of those persons that put on the show and always wanted to share in the gratitude of the success of the NBA or anything that I did. When you look at NASCAR, I felt like it was lopsided. And the people that were putting on the show was not getting the type of recognition.
Compensated fairly.
And I didn't have a say-so initially because I had to get in an understanding and know. And once I did, we got to an opportunity where, okay, we need some changes, and even if I get kicked out of the sport, even if I lose the lawsuit, I'm gonna wake up some people to understand what they're actually doing is wrong, and I've been a fan. It's not like I just woke up and said, you know what, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna attack NASCAR. No, I've been involved in NASCAR, I've been a supporter of NASCAR for a long period of time.
Yeah.
But I was focused on what I was doing, which is basketball. Now when I got into NASCAR, I can see how things was operating. It was lopsided. It was wrong.
Yeah, but Michael Jordan took the stand. When I read that Michael Jordan is going to take the stand, that got everybody's attention. Tell me you're thinking about, I'm going to get on the stand and I am going to testify. And were you nervous?
Oh yeah, I was definitely
Were
nervous.
you nervous?
Don't get me wrong. I was nervous. Any courtroom makes me nervous because that's not where I want to be, really.
Yes,
100%. But no, I knew that once I took the stand, actually when we laid the lawsuit and it became, people became aware that we were suing NASCAR, I was all in. I was aggressively gonna win. That was I became a competitor all over again. Is that, first of all, I wouldn't sue you if I didn't think we had a good case.
Yes.
And we had a good case.
Yes.
Now, I like to have convinced my partners to stick with me, and fight this fight. But a lot of them had different reasons why they couldn't. But that didn't deteriorate why
Yeah.
I felt like this fight was needed, and I was gonna fight even harder. And if I got kicked out, at least I made people aware that change needs to happen in this sport, and I think it's lopsided. And, so I went in with the idea that I don't care. Even if I lost, I won.
Yeah. I look at the cars. Have you ever even been in a car? It seems like your body wouldn't fit in a car.
I can't fit.
So you've never been in a car and
No.
never driven?
No.
Do you want to?
I wish I could.
If you could, would you?
I probably, I would want to, but knowing my competitive juices, I would probably try to go as fast as Denny Hamlin and some of these other guys, knowing I don't have the talent to do so. I'd probably run it straight into that wall, but that doesn't change my desire. I love the sport.
I know. I think it's so cool that you love the sport because I think because you love it, I think it will influence other people to love it. Is there a part of you, any part of you, you said when you left you wanted to retire, you wanted a quieter life. You had had enough, it seems, of the spotlight. True?
Right.
Do you have that with NASCAR? Is it a quieter life?
It's a quieter life where I'm not really the show, even though as of late, I've been in the forefront a lot more than I probably anticipated, but I think the sport needs it to some degree, and my team needs it, and I want them to see the passion that I have for winning and for being a part of the team. When I say I wanted to retire and get to a quieter life, I wanted to get away from basketball in terms of what I represented in that arena and what how big I've gotten, and it was such a huge burden for me in that sport.
Burden.
Here, the burden's not quite the same, and I'm not in that same realm, even though it has evolved to be that now because of the lawsuit, obviously because of the awareness that I'm bringing to NASCAR. It's still not the same as me playing in Chicago and those types of things. But it's something that I think keeps me alive.
Vibrant.
Vibrant.
Fired up.
Yes.
When you say burden, what do you mean burden?
The burden of living a certain way, living up to trying to maintain whatever everybody's perspective is for you or was for you. That is a burden, and it's a lot of people that has to endure that. And it's a certain period of time that you can go through it, and then at some point in time you say, I'm tired of doing that.
And I have nothing left to prove. I have nothing left to prove.
Nothing at all.
Is there a teeny tiny part of you that misses basketball, that that wishes you could pick up a ball? And,
100%. It's not just a teeny; it's a huge piece. But I've compensated that feeling through NASCAR or through fishing. I like going fishing, but that urge to dream that if I wish I can still pick up a basketball and
you would.
I would love to do that.
You
Believe
would?
me, my competitive juices is I would definitely love to do that.
You are considered the great. Do you think there's room for more than one great? Is there room for more than one GOAT in basketball?
There's no such thing as GOAT, to me.
No such thing?
Not to me. It's only because I think, we are transcended from other people, other athletes. We learn from other athletes. We progress the game as we move further. To say that one is better than the other is not really right.
Do you think for many people there's a stigma still associated with NASCAR racing? Do you think there is a stigma, number one, and do you think that you can change it or that it needs to be changed?
I'm pretty sure there is a stigma. I think it's changing. I think generationally, change has to happen. It's how you connect to that next generation is going to be the biggest key. I think that's where NASCAR is going to be challenging, where we all can help, because of, change, being able to connect to more African Americans watching NASCAR or more, people getting involved, young. I mean, to me, that's where I think change is going to happen, and the perception of this whole thing that we're doing now and us winning, I think is a step towards that.
I know.
People watching NASCAR that they never watched before because we're winning. I mean, that's a part of the change.
Because you're winning and because you're you.
That's a part of it.
You have something to do with it.
Well, as long as I win.